Hello, and hope you are all doing well. Today the speakers will talk about coronavirus, recession and e-commerce, how to be wise and profitable during the new crisis. Our first speaker, Gautier from Bitfiner, will give you a nice overview of what happened during the last economic crisis, and especially in e-commerce. What will likely happen now and how to win the race. The topic will be covered in English. Our second speaker, Richard from Webimotus, will do a nice overview of how to do your digital marketing in a cost-efficient way. The topic will be covered in Estonian. And last but not least, we have received some very important and interesting links from Tõnu that the Estonian e-commerce association would like to share with you. And speaking of Tõnu, we all want to give our special thanks to him for making this all happen. And of course, we are all very grateful for your time and attention. So thank you one more time, and I hope you enjoy the webinar. For your convenience, we decided to pre-record the webinar, so you can all find a good moment to dive in and enjoy the content. Alright, here we go.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the webinar. I really hope you are all doing fine today, and thank you very much for being here. I know the situation we're all in is very unusual, but I'm going to try my best to share with you some ideas which I hope will be beneficial to you and to your business. In the first part of this webinar, we're going to talk about what happened in e-commerce during the last recession, which started in 2008, what will most likely happen now or in the upcoming months, and finally, and I believe it's the most useful part of this presentation, we will see together what your business can do to overcome the crisis. But before we dive into the topic, here's a little bit about myself. My name is Gautier. I am French and I'm currently living in Estonia, and more precisely in Tallinn. What I do at Bitfiner is working as a user experience and optimization consultant, where I'm helping e-commerce brands optimize their sites, optimize their marketing strategy, and more generally speaking, helping them make more profits online. And to do that, my three weapons of choice are data, psychology, and design. At Bitfiner, we have been optimizing and growing online profits for a variety of e-commerce brands that you can see here on the slide, but we've also been helping software as a service clients and associations and NGOs. Our approach is to always back up our design and optimization process with data, because without data, we would be navigating in the dark. So proper data and proper analysis are really crucial steps to our process. Also, we have been lucky enough to work on a global scale, working on projects and clients from over 20 countries so far. And another thing that makes us a little proud is that we won some international design awards, which shows that it is possible to have great design that converts very well too. But why did we choose this topic in the first place? Because we have all been taken by surprise, and the economic activity has taken a huge hit worldwide, with countless countries taking drastic rules to stop the coronavirus from spreading, and a lot of industries are being impacted. Many factories and physical stores are closed for security reasons. And in this unique situation that we're all facing together, it's easy to feel panicked. And I would even say it's normal to feel a little worried, because ultimately we don't know how long this is going to last. But today, I want to help you focus on long-term goals and invite you to see what seems like chaos as an opportunity for your business to grow. It might sound much easier said than done, but you have to realize the world is not going to end, and the world of e-commerce is going to grow even more after the pandemic ends. So I will show you a process to find out where and why you are losing sales, teach you how to identify opportunities, and show you how you can prioritize and fix the issues you come across. But first, let's travel back in time just a little bit in 2008. So the recession initially started from the subprime mortgage market in the US, and it quickly spread into the financial markets, and this is where started to see a domino effect to all economies worldwide that eventually led to a complete economic downturn. But what is interesting to see is that e-commerce was not immune from the crisis, even though it wasn't proportionally as bad as what happened offline to physical stores. And in 2009, e-commerce really wasn't as developed as it is currently. So you can see on this first diagram, one of the main consequences that the 2008 crisis had is that the huge majority of people, 71%, were saving more money and therefore consuming less, which again is a normal behavior when you don't know what could happen in the near future. While on this chart, we can see that people predominantly decided to spend less in the holiday season in 2008 because the prices for necessary products such as gas, food, or consumer goods had increased, and the population was overall lacking confidence in the economy. The third chart is very interesting because you see that in a matter of just a single year, people were expecting to buy online significantly more than offline because the diversity of products available online is much bigger. It's also more convenient to buy from home, and in many cases it's cost effective as you can compare products and go for cheaper options. And this graph makes even more sense when we remember the previous graph where we saw the increase in price for consumer goods was the main reason people decided to spend less. So in short, the top 3 negative factors that impacted the economy at the time was the lack of credits, and as a result, people preferred saving more and consuming less. And also the third factor was that the consumer confidence was rock bottom at that time. Which brings us to today's situation that feels a lot similar to what I described. Stock markets are plummeting, people are forced to stay home, some of them cannot work at all, some of them lost their jobs unfortunately, and we can fairly assume people are going to spend less on products that are not essential. Yet, there is still hope we could all be on the safe side. On one hand, you could tell that even e-commerce sales decreased. But on the other hand, this decrease in 2008 was very short-lived. But when this crisis starts fading away, I think we can be very confident e-commerce sales are gonna reach new heights again. Can you believe it? More than 10 years ago, e-commerce represented 5.1% of total retail purchases, but it is now representing 3 times more, and the trend is still going up. This is why we need to keep our spirit up and try to stay positive with some of the data that we have. 22% of the population worldwide is buying online. Of course, we need to look at what's going on at the nation level and how delivery will work. Also, millions of people have to stay home, and while it's true their needs will change because they are home, the most convenient way they can purchase is online. So this is where online businesses fit in, and where we all have to keep in mind customers prefer to buy from places that they have been shopping before. The outcome will most likely depend on how we react, what will be prioritized, and the actions we will take. It's pretty clear by now the recession is ahead of us and that we're all going to get impacted one way or another. It's simply a matter of time, unfortunately. Moreover, offline sales will massively decrease at the exception of some supermarkets and grocery stores maybe, but the main opportunity is that online shopping will grow even more by necessity. The transformation from offline to online will be painful for some industries, but if there is one place where companies can still take action, it's definitely online. So prepare all your cannons and adjust the sails on the go, but stay on the ship. What I'm trying to say here is to not make the mistake of cutting on resources that you might need during the crisis and once the crisis is over. And before we go any further, I'd like to let you know that we will share with you links, tools, and resources following this link, which is bitfinder.com/crisis2020. All right, what's coming next? So now I'm going to share with you some advice on how to increase your e-commerce business in the midst of a crisis. At Bitfinder, we think 4 areas in particular can play a huge role in your success. Let's find out. So we have a formula that looks like this, and it is customer value proposition plus user experience plus marketing plus automation equals online success. But what does that even mean? In short, it's how you are going to differentiate your brand from competitors, what is the experience that you offer, and how you reach your audience. And really, there is not a more ideal time to pay attention to these because this is where we see the best return on investment happening. There are proven ways you can do it, so let me explain to you. And trust me, stacking up on toilet paper is, well, it's not gonna grow your business. I'm sorry for the bad news. But joke aside, the first part of the equation is the customer value proposition. So what is it exactly? A value proposition is a promise of value. It's the primary reason someone interested should buy from you, and it's also the number one thing that tells whether people will even bother reading more about your product or leave your site. On your site, your customer value proposition is absolutely critical, and you can see great improvements from finding the right one. In a nutshell, a value proposition is a clear statement that offers 3 things. The first thing is relevancy. You need to explain how your product solves customers' problems or how it improves their situation. The second aspect is the quantified value. You need to deliver specific benefits. And the third aspect is the differentiation. You need to tell the ideal customer why they should buy from you and not from the competition. Once we have found your customer value proposition, you need to be able to communicate it clearly. A few rules you need to keep in mind is to avoid language that is too technical or specific, and ideally your value proposition should be simple enough to be understood in 5 seconds. And please, don't underestimate its importance because this is one of the aspects that is really going to make visitors either stay or leave your site. Now we move on to the second part of the equation, which is UX, for user experience. Basically, you need to take a good look at your website and make sure that the overall user experience of your visitors across the site is great. That involves having an interface that is easy to use, clear to understand, and also help them accomplish their main tasks. But I want you to realize that UX is all the more important that it is directly correlated with conversions. When a visitor lands on your site, this is where the user experience begins, and the quality of the experience they are having is going to influence their opinion about the brand, and if they are even going to buy from that brand. With UX, you can do more with less. More conversions with less traffic. But more conversions with less traffic is only going to happen if you have put UX as one of your priority, which means that you have a clear process where you analyzed the data by looking at where your users are dropping off. Then it means that you have talked with your users through questionnaires or live chats. And then with this data, you're able to solve your users' problems and create a delightful experience. If you manage to have a good user experience, then the reward will be more conversions. It's definitely the right time to have an optimized website because we are not in a comfortable situation where you can afford to lose sales because, I don't know, your website was hard to use on mobile or maybe your checkout had problems in it. It's also very relevant to companies that won't be able to attract many new visitors due to lowered advertising budgets. The idea is to get the most out of the traffic you are receiving and help your visitors achieve what they came for. The companies that will succeed, especially during a crisis, are the ones who have a loyal customer base, repeat buyers, and were able to capitalize on a great user experience. So the third part of the equation is marketing. Richard, who is going to talk right after me in the second part of this webinar, is going to talk, extensively about marketing, so I recommend you listen to him. But to make it short, marketing is all about communicating value. And to entice people to buy from you, you need to tailor your marketing message to an audience. But keep in mind that not every audience is at the same stage in the funnel and their intent might be different. Some people are at the awareness phase where they know little about your brand and your customer value proposition. Some other people are at the consideration phase and start evaluating your products against the competition. And some other people are at the conversion phase and they are ready to buy. If you cannot spend as much in marketing as before, then you need to prioritize your campaigns and double down on the ones that bring the highest return on investment. But that doesn't mean you need to sacrifice your prospecting campaigns. The main idea is that the lower people are in your marketing funnel, the more likely they are to buy from you. And if they already bought from you once, then your goal is to convert these people into repeat buyers and ideally try to turn them into advocates of your brand. The fourth and last part of the equation is automation. You need to consider automating your marketing for the most frequent and critical touch points of the customer journey. It's not meant to entirely replace traditional marketing tools or campaigns, and you still need to monitor how the automation is working. But on the other hand, there are some marketing tasks that really make sense to automate. A classic are the pre- and post-sales emails that to drive repeat purchases. They work very well, and the post-sales emails are usually the most profitable marketing campaign as it costs almost nothing to send emails and you can really increase your profitability. But automation can be used to bring a better user experience also. You could be sending your customers articles to educate them about your products, or you could automate an email to wish them a happy birthday. Basically, if it's predictable and repeatable, then you can automate it. You should think of automating touch points with your customers that will increase the value that you provide as a business. Now, hopefully, you know about each element that I talked about from the equation, and I really want to highlight that they should be all very high on your priority list. The equation I talked about can really turn your business around and help your business grow stronger even in difficult times. Here's another reminder of the link, which is bitfinder.com/crisis2020 that I strongly recommend you look at. Quite a few resources are in there. We have downloadable tools that you can start using right away to grow your business. Now, to summarize just a bit, here's the action plan that you can follow to improve your business and squeeze in more profits. The first step is to understand the data and talk to your customers. Then you need to prioritize your findings based on the return on investment and the ease of implementation. If the calculated return exceeds the cost of implementation, then you should definitely do it. The third step is to stay lean by trying to be adaptive and trying to move fast. This is how we usually audit our clients at Bitfiner and how we try to make sense out of the data. So feel free to use the same method as us. What you see here is the process we use when it comes to understanding the data and the customers. Remember, this is the first step of the action plan I just mentioned. There are many different techniques to collect data, and we start with a team interview where we discuss the projects with different stakeholders and ask them tailored questions about the business, the products, their main KPIs, and their expectations. Comes next the analytics setup, or sometimes the analytics audit, where we see if the data is being properly collected, how goals, events, and funnels are set up, or if the business is using the enhanced e-commerce feature. There is obviously a lot more to look at, but this is really just to give you an idea. If the data is flowed, it can lead to wrong business decisions, so it's very critical to make a Google Analytics health check and start understanding how people use your site. After the team interview and the analytics health check, we can move on to sending out customer questionnaires. In the questionnaire, we ask them to briefly describe themselves and how buying from your brand solved one of their problems or how your products were better than the competition. Try to talk to as many customers as you can, and they will give you many insights that in turn can help you refine your customer value proposition. You should always try to analyze the language they use when they answer and use it into your website content. It's called using the voice of your customers, and customers love it when you use a language that is similar to theirs. There are many other ways you can collect consumer data, but among other techniques, you have on-site polls that you can add to uncover issues at the page level. You have session recordings, which are tools that allow you to see videos of users navigating your site, and you also have scroll maps to see how people interact with your content. But since you surely want to move fast and have actionable data in a quick time frame, like a week, as you can see here on the slide, then on-site polls and session recordings are not necessarily the best options, as it can get a bit long to get enough answers or videos. In the meantime, when we are waiting for the customer answers to accumulate, we perform a heuristic analysis of the website, which is basically a page-by-page expert review of the website. The main purpose of a heuristic analysis is to discover usability problems on the site and what could be blocking conversions. The way it works is that 3 to 5 user experience experts work on evaluating the website against a set of principles or heuristics. The entire process is designed to help find hidden opportunities on the site, find obstacles that need fixing, and also start prioritizing the fixes. The main advantages of a heuristic is that it doesn't require a massive budget. You only need 3 to 5 UX experts. It's fast to achieve. You can do it in as fast as a day. And 3, it's repeatable. So usually we are doing it on a website, but you can also do the heuristic analysis on wireframes or sketches. After we have collected the analytical and customer data, we know the where and the why. Where do you have problems and why are you having them? From there starts the prioritization of the optimization process, and we come up with test ideas based on data and how much they bring to your bottom line. We pull all that into the action report, and voila, you are set to improve your business. We've done it many times over the years, and this approach really moves the needle for the companies that have been following this conversion roadmap. Here's a few examples, a few clients we did the audit for. Usually the reports are 50 pages plus and are packed with insights and have the prioritized action plan in it. Of course, you can try to apply everything by yourself, but if you need a hand, then you can write me or call me and see what we can do together. And next up is a little surprise for you. So at Bitfiner, we have been working a lot on a side product to the agency, and we are very happy to announce that it's going to be live by May, and it is no other than the world's first open source e-commerce conversion kit. So basically, we have put together a conversion kit that e-commerce brands can use to design their site, and that is 100% backed up by our client experience and tons of research and articles from expert publications such as CXL, the Baymard Institute, or HubSpot. This conversion kit follows a crazy amount of conversion, usability, and performance guidelines that can boost your business. And the good news for you is that this kit is free. So we are really excited about releasing the kit and see how you are going to receive it, how you are going to think about it. So here's a glimpse of what it's going to look like. And for those who are interested, you can get early access to the e-commerce conversion kit by simply going to this link, which is bitfiner.com/kit. But let's come back to the auditing side, where there is one more thing that I really wanted to show you. And this is a checklist put together by Craig Sullivan, who is a very prominent UX and optimization expert. You can use this checklist and just in a few clicks see how much money you are leaving on the table because your website is not necessarily optimized for certain browsers or certain devices. So the idea is that Craig Sullivan built a hierarchy diagram where one layer relies on another, which means that if you don't get these four things right, device compatibility, performance, accessibility, and usability, then whatever you are building on top of that will be partly wasted or reduced in performance. The logic is that if people can't even make your site work on their computer or smartphone, then your site becomes pointless. So device compatibility is super important. If it doesn't work on some device or the design is broken on these devices, then all the other layers will be negatively impacted. Oh, and by the way, this checklist by Craig Sullivan is also available at bitfiner.com/crisis2020. The first layer of the hierarchy is device compatibility. You need to segment your browser and device and see how they perform. Once you see a problem with a specific device, you should create a funnel to pinpoint exactly where in the funnel people are leaving the site. But thanks for us, Craig Sullivan has already built a custom analytics report and the corresponding Excel spreadsheet to find out where you are losing money. So you simply have to copy-paste the data from the custom analytics report into the Excel spreadsheet. As you can see on the slide, it shows how much Android phones would bring in extra revenue over 3 months if the Android phone's conversion rate was as high as the iPhone's conversion rate. So you need to observe where are the biggest opportunities in the table and then try to fix them. Once you have that sorted, build funnel steps for all the devices receiving the most traffic and try to test the user experience on devices that don't seem to be working. Don't worry if you are missing any of the devices you would like to test. You can still go to browserstack.com or deviceanywhere.com to see and feel how the user experience of your site is on these particular devices. The second layer is performance. I don't want to be too technical, but if you do use the Google PageSpeed Insights, you will have a detailed report of what's making your page slow and how you can make it go faster. And another method that we do use is to go to Google Analytics, go to the site speed category, then page timings, and then click on the DOM timing tabs. So what you will see is the column that reads document interactive time, and it will show you how many seconds it takes for your user to be able to start using the page. And also, if you aren't yet convinced to work on your site performance, I think you should know that every extra 1 second it takes to load a page on mobile, you are losing roughly 20% of your conversions. So that's absolutely massive, and I don't think any businesses can afford to lose that many conversions. So you have to figure out how to make your site faster to use. The third layer of the hierarchy is accessibility. Here we are talking about the font size, the font weight, if it has enough contrast with the background, and how the form fields are being handled. One way to understand it is that if people cannot read the text on your website, then it doesn't even matter if you have an excellent marketing offer, because people will simply not be able to read it. And the last layer of the hierarchy is usability. So you don't have to scratch your head too much about this one. You need to find 5 to 10 volunteers, not UX experts like in the heuristic, but just 5 to 10 volunteers to navigate your website and comment on their experience as they are using it. So of course the volunteers shouldn't know about your brand beforehand, otherwise their remarks will be skewed. So you should be aiming to give each volunteer at least 3 tasks to complete on your website. A specific task, for example, find a white shirt size L that costs less than €100, for example. Then you can also ask them a broader task. It can be add to the cart a trouser that you like. And the third type of task that we ask is usually to go through the whole funnel to see if the ordering process is easy to follow. So there you have it. Now you can see by yourself how your website is doing by looking into each layers of the hierarchy. All right, I think it's now time to recap what we learned during this presentation. So trying to be short, what is going to really matter is how you differentiate yourself with a strong customer value proposition, the user experience you provide, the marketing messages that you are going to use to reach your audience. But you should not forget about marketing automation, which can save you a lot of time on top of providing a good experience to your customers and to people that are just visiting your site. We are all going to feel the consequences of the crisis, but e-commerce will come out stronger just like it did before. If you want to unlock new ways to grow your business, you then need to carefully consider our equation and weigh in each of its elements. We are now at the end of the presentation, and I hope you have now a good overview of what you can do to start implementing new techniques to grow your business in difficult times. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or if anything is unclear, and I will do my best to help you. Also, resources, tools, and downloadable checklists can be found at bitfinery.com/crisis2020. And also, as advertised, we're also offering a free 30-minute long crisis consultation for the first 30 businesses that sign up. So the link to sign up is the same. It's still bitfinery.com/crisis2020. Thank you so much for your attention. I truly hope you liked it. And please take care of yourselves and of the one you care about. Have a great day. Goodbye.
Tere head kuulajad, oleme täna kogunenud siia video teel, et rääkida sellest, kuidas teha kriisi ajal oma e-poele võimalikult efektiivset turundust. Hetkel on olulisem kui kunagi varem teada oma e-poe numbreid. Üheks kõige olulisemaks numbriks, mida peaks teadma, on customer lifetime value ehk kui palju on ühe kliendi väärtus rahas. Teiseks oluliseks numbriks on cost per acquisition ehk kui palju kulutad raha ühe uue kliendi leidmisele. Ning kolmas äärmiselt oluline number on return per ad spend ehk kui palju teenid iga euro pealt tagasi, mis sa oled reklaamile kulutanud. Kui kõik need numbrid on teada, siis saad teha oma reklaamides ja üleüldiselt e-poe turunduses palju kaalutletumaid otsuseid ning panna kinni reklaame, mis ei too kasu ning võimendada reklaami, mis toovad nagu väga odavalt tellimusi sisse. Keerulises majanduslikus olukorras on äärmiselt oluline ka luua e-poele unikaalne ja äärmiselt silmapaistev pakkumine, mis siis paistaks kõikide teiste ettevõtete ja e-poodide pakkumiste seas silma ning meelitaks kliendi e-poodi ostma. Pakkumisena võiks proovida näiteks neid 3 erinevat mudelit. Esimene mudel oleks siis tasuta proovitooted, ehk siis kliendil on võimalik e-poest osta kas siis tasuta proovipakk või siis mingisugune tester või midagi sellist, millega ta saaks siis väikse rahaga ära proovida teie toote või siis niimoodi, et ta maksaks ainult selle toote postikulu eest ning teie tasuta selle toote talle tasuta. Tasuta pakkumine toimib väga hästi, sest sa saad tutvustada oma toodet inimestele, kes seda võib-olla ei ole veel näinud, kui see on siis selline unikaalne toode. Ja lisaks saad ka soojendada suhteid olemasolevate klientidega, kes võib-olla ei pruugi veel olla nii hästi kursis kõikide toodetega, mida te enda e-poes pakute. 2 ühe hinnaga reklaami pakkumise mudel siis on üks vana ja teada nipp, aga see toimib endiselt väga hästi, siis selle tõttu läheb kliendi peas lahti psühholoogiline nipp ja selle tõttu ta tundub see pakkumine talle äärmiselt ahvatlev ja hea. Enim müütud toode koos kõrge marginaaliga tootega pakkumise juures on see, et üks väga hästi müüv toode on kokku pandud kas ühe või mitme muu teise tootega, millel on siis väga kõrge marginaal ja mille pealt saab üsna hästi teenida kasumit. Ja et see pakkumine veelgi ahvatlevam välja paistaks, siis saab kogu sellele komplektile teha allahindluse. Antud pakkumist iseloomustab see, et kokku peaks olema pakendatud tooted, mis siis omavahel sobiksid väga hästi kokku, näiteks kingad. Kingale saab juurde panna lisapaelad ja siis näiteks ka kingakreemi ja kõik need saab selliseks väga heaks komplektiks kokku panna. Ja see antud pakkumist iseloomustab ka see, et komplektis on siis vähemalt üks toode, mis on müünud väga hästi ja mida kliendid on väga hästi vastu võtnud ja väga hästi ostnud. Ning siis seal peaks ka juures olema kindlasti mingi toodega siis üks või rohkem veel, millel on nagu väga hea kate ja väga hea kasumimarginaal. Kuna siis kriisi ajal peaks tasulise reklaamiga äärmiselt ettevaatlikult ringi käima, sest kellegi looduselt ei ole rahaga priisata, siis peaks võimalikult palju üritama ära kasutada oma kanaleid, mis on hetkel juba käes. Üheks kõige paremaks kanaliks, mida niimoodi ära kasutada, on email, ehk siis kui te olete varasemalt juba küsinud inimeste käest, kes on teie e-poest ostnud, lubaga neile saata uudiskirja, pakkumisi tulevikus, siis nüüd on selleks väga hea aeg, kus te saate oma unikaalse pakkumise saata neile emaili teel ja kutsuda neid uuesti e-poodi ostma. Kindlasti saaks ära kasutada ka teie olemasolevat sotsiaalmeediakontot. Sinna saab siis samuti selle unikaalse pakkumise postitada. Tänapäeval ei maksa sealt küll väga suurt kasvu oodata, aga kui see ikkagist aitab jõuda mingisuguste inimesteni ja selle kulutused on vägagi minimaalsed. Kindlasti siis võiks proovida ka teha sisuturundust omaenda blogis, kui teil on see olemas. Näiteks hetkel on varsti kohe tulemas ka emadepäev ja kui te müüte mingisuguseid tooteid, mis võiksid sobida emadepäeval kingituseks, saaksite te teha näiteks postituse 10 nippi emadepäeva kingituse leidmiseks ning seal antud postituses siis reklaamida ka enda e-poes olevaid tooteid. Ja nüüd, kui minna siis tasulise reklaami juurde, siis kindlasti võiks esimesena proovida ära Facebooki ja Google'i dünaamilise retargetingu, ehk siis näidata reklaami uuesti inimestele, kes on korra juba teie e-poes käinud ning mingite toodete vastu huvi üles näidanud. Ja siis nendele samadele inimestele saab täpselt neid samu tooteid reklaamis näidata, mida nad juba eelnevalt on vaadanud ning siis kutsuda neid uuesti e-poodi ostma. Antud reklaam on üsnagi efektiivne, sellepärast et ei näita reklaami siis inimestele, kes on nagu täiesti külmad ja kes võib-olla võivad olla huvitatud või need inimesed on juba reaalselt näidanud huvi üles ning suure tõenäosusega nad võivad need tooted ka reaalselt ära osta, sest arvatavasti eelnevalt jäi neil lihtsalt tuli midagi ette ning nad ei saanud ostu lõpuni viia. Ja viimase variandina siis kindlasti võiks proovida ka leida uusi reklaamikanalid, kus siis võiks teha reklaami, sest hetkel üleüldiselt on reklaamimaastikul väga suured reklaamimahtude ülejäägid, sest väga paljud ettevõtted lõpetavad enda reklaamid ära ning bänneripindad on kõikidel lehtedel tühjaks jäänud. Siis antud hetkel on suurepärane võimalus võib-olla leida enda jaoks mingisugune uus blogi või mõni ajaveeb või midagi sellist, või näiteks isegi kas uudisteportaal, kus siis teha bänneri reklaami. Küll aga peaks sellesse üsna ettevaatlikult suhtuma, sellepärast et bänneri reklaam ei pruugi nii hästi tänapäeval enam toimida, kui see vanasti toimis. Küll aga võib antud bänneri pinna saada kätte väga-väga soodsa hinna eest ning katsetada on ikkagist mõistlik seda teha. Ja viimaseks soovituseks siis võib-olla olekski see, et kui uut kanalit otsida, siis kindlasti peaks vaatama seda, et teie e-poe sihtrühm oleks siis selles kanalis olemas. Näiteks kui te müüte meigitooteid, siis arvatavasti ei ole mõtet neid reklaamida kuskil autodest rääkivas blogis, küll aga võiks väga hea selline blogi olla erinevad näiteks suunamudijad ja influencerid, kes räägivad siis näiteks ilutoodetest, et sinna saaks siis väga hästi panna enda e-poe sisse, kui te müüte meigitooteid. Aga hetkel need ongi kõik need nipid, mis kokku tulid ja loodan, et nendest on abi ning kena reklaamimist ja reklaami mõõtmist kriisi ajal. Nägemist!